Hey YouTube, so first of all I want to apologize. I don't have a tripod for this video, so I'm going to be swapping in between hands. And it's going to be a little shaky, maybe a little wonky, but whatever, we're going to do it. So in this video I'm going to talk about the rise and fall of my thump and grind here. This is the original print. As you can see, I broke it down. These are the main components of it right here. This is the parts kit as I got it from P&W Tactical Supply, and of course the barrel with the shroud that I cannot remove because it's JB welded with 1 metric ton of JB weld. I had some issues with Cura and it was only printing half of it correctly, and then I had to get a layer shift, and I was really just done wasting filament, and yeah, that resulted in this, but I mean it worked, so I can't complain. But just because it worked doesn't mean it was foolproof. So this is no bash on the devs who developed the thump and grind. This is going to be more so my experience with MatterHackers MH build series, PLA, which is what my entire thump and grind was printed out of, because I was new to printing and I wanted to be cool, and I thought, hey, this stuff looks pretty neat, let's give it a try. No, it is not meant for this kind of, for this application at all. So as you can see, here's the grip and the lower trigger housing right there. It completely just snapped off. I did try to re-weld it in place, which did make for a quick fix when it originally broke, and then disassembling it, this entire sidewall snapped off. And I didn't make this when I was still relatively new to 3D printing these types of items. So I was still dialing in settings, filament, stuff like that. Like even just looking at this on camera, you can see all those gaps. Just absolutely terrible print quality. Looking at the underside, you just look at that, terrible. And I'm sure, I don't know if you can really see this on camera. Right here you can. These walls are actually separated. I can get my fingernail in there, pry it off. That is not what you want. You need to make sure your printer is really dialed in for stuff like this. And people in the community will tell you that, and you need to take that advice. I did not. I thought, hey, I can just download the files and hit print, and bam, this is gonna be freaking awesome. It was when it worked, and then, well, as you can see, it's ultimately just sitting in parts here on my workbench. I mean, this is absolutely terrible quality compared to what I've tuned my AnyCubic to. As a comparison, this is going to be the receiver for my Dunny Meat Balls launcher. A little bit of stringing. This is no post-processing at all. Looks very clean. I got the ironing on. That's how the bottom layer looks. It looks like that because my bed's a little wonky, but I have no obvious separation of the layer lines. And that is what you want, as opposed to this. This is terrible. If your prints look like this, do not be doing work like this. This material, I just wanted to speak on it, is not at all rated for this type of work. So unfortunately, the thump and grind is not the only thing I made using this material. I did build an arc, which is this guy right here. Came out pretty cool, and yes, it does work. And the MatterHackers build series, MH, whatever, has held up. However, you can see that it hasn't exactly held up when it comes to the magazine release right here. You can see there's a very obvious bend. It is not straight at all. It completely warped with that spring. The spring pressure alone has simply bent this piece out of spec. So really, I'm not super comfortable shooting with this material, this arc with this material. The black is eSun PLA Plus. The purple is the MatterHackers Pro build. yeah, this build is completely unsafe, and it pains me to say it because I absolutely love my ARC and my many failed attempts at building it, but the material is not standing up to it. And just as a comparison, you might say, hey, like any PLA is gonna deform with that sort of spring pressure on it, whatever. And I will argue no, it is not, because I do have my second ARC. Let me get it real quick. Which, as you can see, I do not have that issue. It is very, very flat. Let me remove this magazine. And yes, it is safe. It is very flat. Exact same. It's the exact same spring that came in the kit from Invader Zip himself. And I've had no warpage on this. This is all printed in Eastland PLA. I'm not too sure the green color, but I know this is obviously a black. I did paint it. It came out nice, except for right here. You can see I had the curse of the ARC, and this warped right here. I tried my best to bend it, and it did not work. But other than that, this ARC build just came out beautiful. And again, that is because I did not use the MatterHackers Pro build. And at this point in time, I have been printing for a while. I've gotten much better quality prints than this right here. Back when I first started 3D printing, I thought, hey, this is cool, I'm gonna do it. And in all reality, I had no idea what I was doing. And I thought, all these guys in the community, dial in your print settings, blah, 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 blah. They're just like old FUDs. And I'm here to tell you that they're not. Take that advice. That is the advice that I would give to anyone new to this hobby, because really this whole Thump and Grind build could have ended catastrophically, and I could have seriously injured myself or others that I was shooting it around. And you don't want nor need that. This is supposed to be a very fun hobby, and having your build blow up in your face is not fun. Fortunately, this failed safely and no one was hurt, but still, at the end of the day, it could have been very bad, and I'm just thankful it wasn't. I'm gonna be remaking this because I obviously still have the parts for it. That's the cool thing about 3D printing, is you screw up a build, as long as you still have the hardware, well, you can build another. And while I'm working on that, I'm also making parts for the Danny Meatballs launcher, because a pump action 37mm, why not? It just sounds freaking awesome. Thank you guys for watching.